He knows he doesn't deserve you, but he can't stop loving you. He has been honest with himself about this, more honest than is comfortable, more honest than most people are willing to be about the gap between who they are and who someone they love deserves. He knows. That is the part that makes this difference from ordinary longing. He is not operating under any illusions about what he has been, what he has given, what he has failed to give, how far the distance is between the version of him that showed up and the version you actually deserved. He has sat with that gap and looked at it clearly, not briefly, not occasionally, consistently, in the quiet moments that do not allow for comfortable distraction. And what he sees when he looks at it clearly is not small. You are someone who loves completely. He has watched you do it. The way you give without calculating return, the way you show up without requiring the other person to earn it first, the way your care does not come with conditions attached underneath the surface where conditions usually hide. You deserved someone who could meet that, who could receive it without flinching, who could love with the same completeness and consistency you brought without making you feel like you were asking for too much by simply wanting it returned. He was not always that person, is still becoming that person in ways that feel too slow and too late, and he knows it. He knows he was inconsistent when you needed steadiness, absent when presence was what the moment required, guarded when your openness deserved something that came toward it rather than retreating. He knows he took things for granted that deserved daily appreciation, treated rare things like ordinary things because they were always there, and always there can start to feel like always will be there, until it isn't. He knows all of this, has memorized it in the way you memorize things that cost you something to learn, with a clarity that does not soften over time, that sits exactly where it has always sat, unchanged, honest, completely his to own. And knowing it has not made the loving stop. That is the part he cannot find a clean answer for. He expected understanding his shortcomings to create distance from the feeling, thought that seeing himself clearly would make the love feel less certain, less justified, less like something he had any right to still be carrying. It did not do any of those things. The love did not consult his worthiness before deciding to stay, did not weigh his failures against itself and arrive at a smaller number, did not respond to any of the logical arguments he made about why it should settle into something quieter. It simply remained, full and specific and entirely yours, the same size it has always been, unchanged by everything he now understands about what he put alongside it and called effort. He lives inside that contradiction daily, knowing he has not been enough, feeling something that does not know how to become less, carrying both at once, without resolution, without the clean ending that would make it easier to file somewhere and move forward from. There are moments he thinks it would be simpler to not feel it, that the loving without deserving is its own particular kind of suffering, that caring this much about someone you have failed is not a comfortable place to exist. But simpler has never been available to him when it comes to you. Nothing about loving you has ever been simple, not the loving itself, not the losing, not the living inside the aftermath of both. He thinks about what deserving would actually look like, not in abstract terms, specifically, the daily version of showing up as someone equal to what you give. It looks like presence that does not require you to ask for it, honesty that arrives before silence has a chance to do damage, consistency that does not depend on circumstances being easy, a love that meets yours at its actual level instead of somewhere below it hoping you will not notice the gap. He is working toward that version, not as a strategy to earn something back, because the understanding of what you deserve has changed him in ways that needed changing regardless of outcome. Because loving you clearly, even while knowing he has fallen short of what that love deserved to be given alongside, has made him want to be better. Not for the reward of it, just because you showed him what genuine looks like, and genuine leaves a mark. He cannot stop loving you. He has tried the version of his life where he attempts that. It does not take, does not hold, does not become easier with time the way everyone implies these things eventually do. The love simply continues, patient and complete, and entirely unconcerned with whether he has earned the right to still feel it. He knows he does not deserve you, and he cannot stop loving you. And he is learning to hold both of those things honestly, without using the first one as a reason to abandon the second, without using the second one as an excuse to stop working on the first. Just holding them both, doing better, loving you anyway, in the only way currently available to him, quietly, completely, and with the full weight of knowing exactly what loving you well would actually require, and deciding that becoming that person is the only direction worth moving in. DM to DF message today.